Hello and thanks for joining us. Today we're going to talk about some tools that you need for prepping a body, because we're going to review some new tools today. First thing you need is, of course, your body. You also will need some masking tape. A razor blade is nice and handy to have, not a necessity. Also maybe an X-Acto knife instead. A couple Sharpies is very handy for marking body lines where you're going to cut at, as well as marking your body post locations. But what tool are we going to look at today? What tool are we going to review? It's actually a pair of tools, and it's these ones. They're from Duratrax. It's the DTXR 1160. This is a cheap body reamer and scissor set, about 13 bucks from Tower Hobbies. Now, the good thing about this is these scissors are especially made for cutting Lexan, so that means if you're cutting your lines, it'll be a lot easier to cut. And the reamer is really good for making holes, like body post holes and such. So let's take these out of the package and get a closer look at them. Here we have them out of the package. Let's take a look at the scissors first. These scissors, according to the packaging, is stainless steel, which is very nice, means it shouldn't rust. They're very light. They have this curved edge to them here, and that lets you work them around the curves in the Lexan, like doing around wheel well arches, around bumpers, and such like that. They have a good feel to them. I mean, they fit my fingers pretty good. What about the body reamer? This thing's got some heft to it. It's pretty heavy. It has a little rubber cap here, plastic cap on the tip to protect it, I guess during shipping. It is very, very sharp. Has a good feel to it, the edge of it. One thing I'd like to see here, though, is instead of this little rubber, basically piece of fuel tubing over top the end of it, I'd like to see it actually have a cap to cover this end. That way, if you throw it in your pit box, it'll protect you. I have an older associated one around here that's aluminum and does have the cap. Like I said, I like that because in my pit box I don't have to worry about jamming it in my hand. But these are nice tools, have a good quality feel to them, especially for the price, 13 bucks, can't beat that. Now that we have our tools laid out here, we're going to try them out on this Volkswagen Amarok body. This right here is going on our CC01 build. So we're going to go ahead and try the scissors out first to trim the wheel wells and the body out, and then we'll set it on the chassis to see if the body post dimples line up with where they are on the truck. You always want to check that before you go and drill the body post holes. Okay, let's see how well these scissors work. Oh yeah, look at that. They cut right through that Lexan like hot knife through butter. And see, the curved blades let us turn the scissors as we cut. So let's go ahead and trim out this body and see how it goes. And here we have our body cut out. The scissors did a great job. Had to do a little bit of trimming here and there with the razor blade, but that's to be expected, some of those tight corners. And now, though, we need to go ahead and mark our spots for our body posts so we can try out our reamer. Now, it's important on this, with this body here, to make sure you set it on first, to make sure you lined up the correct dimples. Like on the hood, it has 4 different sets of dimples, or 2 different sets of dimples, and in the rear has multiples, because this is made for a couple different trucks. And the one truck uses a roll bar in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and mark to make sure I get the right dimples. And now we can give the reamer a try. Go ahead and remove this safety tip off of it. And here you can see this dimple where I made the black spot on. Right there on my finger. There is some other dimples in here, but we're going to start with this one. This is the one we need. So we set our point right there in that dimple. Let's give it a slight push to make sure you move your finger out of the way. And just twist. It's poking through. Like so. And now you can put your fingers on either side of the hole and twist. Make sure you don't go too fast because this will go in pretty quick and easy. So you don't want to make the hole too big too quick. Make sure you stop, then check the hole against the body post. So look at that, perfect size. Now we just got to do that for the rest of them, and then we'll be ready to set the body down on there. And now as you can tell, we got the 2 front ones drilled, and now we got to do the rear. So just like the front, we'll find our marking right there. Set a point in the dimple and give it a little twist. Check it against the post. Good to go. Now we go ahead and do the other one. Now I am going to give you a little tip though. Once you get to the depth, the hole you need, you can stick it in there on the first hole and wrap a piece of masking tape around the point here. That way it'll make it easier to set the size of your hole. Because that whenever you make your next hole, you'll just take it and drill until you get to the size of that masking tape. So if you need to to maybe clean up a hole after you drill it from the top, go from the bottom next. That'll help clean up the edges easier and will lessen the chances of you going too big. Just be gentle whenever you go to do that. So set the body on the truck and see how it looks. Looks pretty good. Some work still needs done. We're going to have to put our body pins in it to set our ride height, and then we'll need to see if there's any trimming needs done. So let's go ahead and get some body pins in there and see about where we want that body to set height-wise. We now have our body height set on our CC01. It sets up higher than stock, but we are running bigger tires than stock, so that's to be expected. These are still Class 1 legal, but will require a little bit of trimming of the fender flares. No big deal there. We'll take our handy dandy scissors and just nip those out a little bit. We also still need to make holes for our ABS mirrors to mount, so we'll go ahead and get our reamer out and take care of that as well. And there we go. I was able to make the holes and get the mirrors mounted. Everything worked out great. Next step is on the paint. So these tools, what do I think of them? They're great. I highly recommend them. The only shortcoming I found in them is, like I said, I'd like to have a cap for this blade just to protect the blade and my hands. But I do highly recommend them for the price. Your toolbox will thank you. It makes it a lot easier to work on bodies. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review of these Duratrax tools. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and until next time, happy RCing!